Hello, hello, good morning. It is Tuesday, August 18th, 8:30 in the AM. Alex reporting for duty. Ooh, my elbow. How are y'all? Um, I haven't done one of these couple days. I did actually yesterday, but I ended up rambling for 20 minutes, and that's too much for me to unpack. So I'm going to try to stay a little more focused. So, first things first, I woke up in the morning. My cat was meowing because I didn't have food in his dish. I forgot to put there last night, I guess. And I woke up to two spots of puke. I'm like, fucking animal. Look at this guy. He's just a fucking puking machine. I love him to pieces, but fucking, oh, God, it's so annoying having to clean barf like every week. And he's done this now since I've had him. And he's 13 this in a couple of months. So he's just a very pukey cat. I don't know. He stress pukes or something when I ignore him or don't feed him. Feed your cat then, Alex, you dumbass. Oh! Yeah, secondly, my hip. Man, oh man, is it sore today. Holy cow. I don't know what the hell I did, but I barely got out of bed. And I can barely sit on the fucking couch. I'm not even sitting at my desk right now to start my day because my hip is just like, wow. I don't know if I got to stretch it or chop it off with the chainsaw. One or the other. It's happening soon because this is getting annoying. I'm like, fuck, enough is enough already. So I'm sure unless you're living under a rock, all of us are probably somewhat involved in those culture wars. I'm no different. The algorithm knows what to show me to get me agitated. And this whole WNBA thing is sort of comical almost at this point. I'm like, these people have pigeonholed themselves into a corner where now they're being forced to either explain and define what a female is or a woman is. And these ultra woke people that run that league and people that far left are just, I don't, man, it's mind boggling how, I don't know. I mean, being awake is important. I don't like the term woke because it's so closely identified with people that are nuts. Um, Look, man, at the end of the day, I was a vegan for 3 years. I care about the environment. I care deeply about animals. I'm very empathetic to the plight of people that genuinely deserve it. Homelessness is something I've had more experience with it than probably most people you'll ever meet. I've just not being homeless myself, but I befriended a lot of people that were always down and out, man. That was always the people that I kind of gravitated towards were that kind of people. So I've spent a lot of time with people that were in that position. And, um, I can tell you, man, like 90% of them plus chose that life. Like they had ample opportunity to change and they just denied it and refused to change. So, you reap what you sow. And it's hard to feel bad for someone like that. It would be like feeling bad for me when I would tell you that I struggled with substances or alcohol. Like that's sort of a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. There's no, telling people I've been sober now for almost a year and they congratulate me. It's like, well, congratulating me on not shooting myself in the foot. Like, I don't know. That just sits funny with me. Anyway, this NBA thing. Um, it's so silly, man. It honestly, the first thing that came to my mind was like, I don't know. They got to draw a hard line in the sand, and if they can't, maybe they should be, some biological marker like no women with at least a 3-inch penis can play in that league. Um, and like the ridiculousness of it is that's the point, like fuck, give your goddamn head a shake, people. Like your solutions don't work. You might think they do, and like I don't even like using the word liberal because if they were moderate and normal, like JFK or Paul Martin, Canadian Prime Minister, or even Jean Chrétien, those two fellas I voted for when liberals were still normal. And then that dingbat of an idiot, Justin Trudeau, got into power and completely took the liberal name and turned it into woke idiocy. And I started voting conservative at that point because I was like, no fucking snowball's chance in hell. I want this clown running the country. Look what happened. So anyway, I don't know, man. I'm trying to kind of anticipate what happens to the world moving forward and how to speak carefully, man. Look. At the end of the day, I'm the last person to give anybody criticism about being an idiot, man. I've said things that were horrible. I've said sexist things. I've said racist things. I've said transphobic things. I've said Islamophobic things. I've shouted at people in public and tried to intimidate and I don't know, just act like an idiot. Usually with other guys around, it was almost like a gang mentality, which I hate, by the way. But I did it anyway because it just felt right in the moment. And um, the point is, man, like in my heart, I want trans people to exist, and they always will, whether I like it or not. More importantly, it's something that you just have to accept and get over. No more different than some people wanting to. I don't know, man. I mean, pick a crazy occupation that no one would do, like iron workers. Like most people never want to do that job because it's like, holy fuck. But there's people that do it, and we just got to accept it for what it is. But like all of these things have to be considered and done within boundaries, man, and restriction. Not. I don't think the world needs more restrictions. We don't need more rules. We need more tribal accountability, and I wish those times where I acted like an idiot, there was one of my friends that would have stood up and kind of stuck up for the people that I was trying to belittle. And that didn't really happen very often. Usually the pack mentality, man, means every guy just kind of goes along with it and thinks it's funny. And, I wouldn't do that solo because I'm not stupid. It's a good way to get beat up. If you start barking at someone, some other group might come beat the shit out of you. But um, that's what I mean by tribal accountability. That the woke left are pushing boundaries and pushing ideologies so far because they're probably tired of the opposite happening to them over generations. And I understand that pushback on their behalf, but like, man, where are the moderate leaders that step up and say, look, like this, that's unacceptable. We can't have biological men and women's sports. That is a no hard line in the sand. Just like we need a hard line in the sand to separate adults from children. Otherwise, you would literally have men and women pursuing people and partners that were children still. Um, and I see this issue as being no different. Like, what are you doing? The boundary that you're pushing is going to, in some extent, it's going to trigger some sort of internal civil war because there are people that are that adamantly against that level of acceptance. And I don't blame them. I'm almost there myself. I mean, I treat child predators and animal abusers very differently than just trans people wanting to exist. But where's the compromise is what I'm asking. Where's the compromise? Is it, why can't we have a dedicated trans league where if you're, women and men can both opt in to play in that league, but you're not going to get women in the men's league and you shouldn't have men in the women's league. It's just, it's an unfair, and this has been tested, man, right? Like, if you're not into MMA, Google the story Farron or Fallon Fox. I can't remember her name, but her was a he, and the debut fight I think was, I don't know, man, 2014. It was a long time ago, but that transgender woman beat the living fucking piss out of that chick and broke her orbital bone, which is not super uncommon. I mean, I just watched that Mackenzie Dern fight the other day, and her face was pretty busted up, and there was another woman hitting her, but. Um, let's be honest, man. There's a biological difference between men and women, and in combat sports, it's critical. In any kind of athletic sport, that's probably important. Um, just because of the physical disproportionate advantage that men typically have over women. Um, anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Again, tribal accountability, man. I want trans people to be accepted. I want them to feel accepted. I want them to feel safe expressing their worldview, which, I mean, it's going to conflict with mine quite a bit because we don't have the same best interests at heart. I want them to be able to express their concerns, is what I'm getting at. And I want people to genuinely listen to them and consider the most logical and reasonable and compromised and fair outcome. Um, the compromise for me again is like, no, you're not playing in women's sports, but a separate league could be started. And if there's not an economic incentive there, then that is what it is, man. If there's not enough of you to build a league, then you know, start corralling your own people to form that. Like, don't put it on me as a heterosexual white guy to figure it out. Like, that's not of interest to me. I don't want to do that. I want to build software and business systems and cool stuff, right? So, not that they're putting it on me individually. I'm just saying in general as a whole. Um, it's I'm losing myself, my train of thought here. This is going on 10 minutes already. Anyway, that's my point. I want to find compromise with these people. Again, I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel accepted, but within compromise, like I'm 5'8". I'm a white dude. The odds of me making it in the NBA were non-existent, not even close. And it was something I understood and accepted early in life. And I'm putting that same kind of responsibility on trans people to like, look, maybe you're just not meant to play in the NBA or WNBA or whatever the sport may be, MMA. Um, it's just one of those things, man. Like you can't win everything at all the time in life, and thinking you can is a very spoiled liberal thing to do. And it very much reminds me of those kids I grew up with that would come to show up at a park with a ball, and we'd all play soccer one on one or whatever, and you'd kick the kid's ass so bad he'd cry, take his ball, and go home. So none of the other kids could play. Like that's the kind of mindset that just fucking it drives me nuts, man. And I want to book headbutt. Anyway, that's 12 minutes, guys. If you're watching, I see you. I feel you appreciate your eyeballs and attention. Pardon the long rambled rant, and I'm trying to be kind and ethical and understanding and compassionate, but at the same time logical, reasonable, and understanding compromise, man. And just where is the compromise? And people seem so unwilling to compromise today. It's frustrating on both the left and the right. Um, and I just want to fucking flick you in the fucking nose because you're like a bug. Anyway, have a great day. Take advantage of the weather if it's nice outside, like it is here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and we'll chat soon. Bye.